All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday evening. And I mean that when I say it is beautiful.
All right, y'all, we are
It is
live
that
on this
perfect kind
beautiful.
of weather outside where it's crisp, it's cool, yet it's still warm enough to go outside without a jacket, if you guys know what I mean. And the sun just set, the sky is still like that glowing orangey color. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Blessings to everybody in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah. May the Lord bless all of you. And we have a lot of awesome things to talk about today. I want to talk about the next moves for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. I want to mark out some levels. I want to come up with a plan. How are we going to trade this? The price has been very volatile. We just had some massive pumps for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. I'm actually still in two trades right now for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I've taken a lot of profits up on these. These have been actually open since about Thursday. Since about Thursday. So, still in these trades, still long. Been taking profits out the whole time. But what I want to do now is I want to just come up with a plan and let's just walk through this step by step and come up with a plan for how we're going to trade this. So let me pop into the chat real quick. Shout out to everybody who's in here. Make sure to FOMO into the like button, guys. I don't know if you've seen the like button chart for the Jason Casper like button, but it is trading on Bybit. You can trade it with up to 100x leverage. And you can just kind of see by looking at the chart here that this thing is parabolic. According to Market Cipher, there's absolutely not going to be a dip anytime soon. The Jason Casper like button is the new Dogecoin. And also, guys, PayPal just announced that they're going to allow you to actually pay with the like button for my video. So make sure to like this video. It'll help the algorithms out, y'all. And appreciate everybody in here. May the Lord bless you. Okay, guys, so some very interesting things have been happening with Bitcoin. This is currently the chart that I have my levels marked out on the daily time frame. So you can see we pretty much we got this massive pump on April 30th, which was, I guess, technically yesterday, right? For me, it's still May 1st. And it's very interesting because I have these two daily levels marked out right here. One is at 57,469, and the other one is right here at 58.5. And you can kind of see the reason I have these levels marked out, guys, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more later, but it's because this level, the same exact level that we rejected off of today, actually happens to be a previous all-time high back from the end of February. And when we're looking at our charts, when we're doing our technical analysis, it's very important that we have the proper levels marked out. Because if we have an area of support or resistance that is very significant, price will inevitably come back to retest that level. Just check it out, right? This was a resistance, and so was this back in the end of February. And now look at these levels. They're being completely respected as resistance and now as our support. And these two levels also, this was acting as our support all through the month of March, support again, and then in the beginning of April, acting as support. For a while, we were actually trading within a range between these two levels, just bouncing back and forth between these two levels. It's very important when we're doing our technical analysis and we're looking for potential trade setups that we have our levels of support and resistance marked out. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later on how we're actually going to look for those levels. But I want to go down, I want to start on the daily time frame. Just start with Bitcoin on the daily time frame. And as we can see, guys, we are still technically, according to Market Cipher, bullish on the daily time frame. We have come down, we have printed this this trigger wave down here below the zero line. I guess you could technically call this an anchor wave, right? And not only did we print the wave, but we can see that the money flow on Market Cipher B is continuing to get thicker. Now the VWAP is giving us some up and down motions, but we can still see that the waves are very separated, right? The waves are very separated on Market Cipher. And guys, if you don't have Market Cipher yet, you can get a 5% discount if you click the link in the description of this video. But you can see the way the oscillator works on Market Cipher is it's going to be oscillating between this light blue wave and these dark blue waves. They're going to be crossing back and forth into each other. And when there's a lot of separation between the light blue and the dark blue waves, that means we have a lot of room to continue upwards, right? That means we have some room to continue upwards. So just looking at the oscillator on the daily time frame, we can see that we look kind of bullish. We look like there's still some upward movement that can happen here. If we go down to the 12-hour time frame, we can see that it looks like we're starting to come to a top, right? Looks like we're starting to come to a top. We had printed this nice wave right here, got a nice pump, and now it looks like the waves are starting to cross over each other. So, we had printed this really nice bottom on the 12-hour time frame, and I think this is very significant to point out too, because whenever we print a bottom on the 12-hour time frame, we usually get some kind of move to the upside. Even in the middle of the most bearish conditions, we will still get some kind of move to the upside if we print a big bottom on the 12-hour time frame like this. And you can see that we've had, during the past week, we've had a massive move to the upside. This has been a very bullish week. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see something very significant, at least in my mind, which is this. First of all, we printed a double bottom here on the 4-hour time frame, and now officially we have the money flow curving. We've been waiting for this all week. We have the money flow curving from the red into the green. In fact, I think which candle was it? One candle ago on the 4-hour time frame was the first time that the 4-hour has had green money flow since April 21st. So it's been, quite some time. It's been, over a week that we've had this deep, thick red money flow, and now it looks like we're starting to come back up into the blue. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means that potentially we're going to see another move to the upside after some consolidation. The reason for that is because we're currently cooling off on Market Cipher B on the 4-hour time frame. And we need to come down a little bit to let things cool off, and potentially when we get the momentum, we can print another wave right here, which will give us a very clear direction on the oscillator, where we could draw a trend line through those green trigger waves, showing us a very clear direction, That's really what we're looking for to confirm a move to the upside, a very clear direction. Let me go down to a lower time frame and show you exactly what we would want to see. This is what we would want to see on the 4-hour time frame to confirm that we are going to get another move to the upside. Let me make this bigger for us on Market Cipher. If we form, a nice bottom like we have on the 4-hour time frame, and then we see that we're printing consecutively higher green trigger waves, and then we get the money flow crossover, and then we print a trigger wave above the zero line like this, and we see this clear direction of money flow and momentum, that means we are going to get a move to the upside that's very significant on the higher time frames. And it's definitely something to keep our eyes on, because Market Cipher is such a powerful tool in showing us the way things are going to go. For example, we can kind of tell just by looking at Market Cipher in general and looking at the money flow, we can see the way things are heading, what direction things are heading in. Let me kind of show you this. So you see how the money flow has these kind of waves on it, right? The money flow has these waves. What we want to be looking for is we want to see if we're going to get a move to the upside, we want to see that the blue waves are getting higher every time they print, and the purple waves are getting smaller every time they print. So we want to see, this blue wave comes up to here, then the next time it comes up a little bit higher, and then it comes up a little bit higher than that. And this is showing us that the momentum, the money flow, is actually printing higher highs. And we can see that the purple, which is the red, every time that prints, it's getting a little bit lower. And this is showing us the overall direction of the price. And remember, the money flow is actually money flowing into the asset. So when it's curving from the red to the green, or in my case from the purple to the blue, it is is basically telling us that money is coming into the asset, right? Like water coming into a garden. We are going to see growth when that happens. And you can go back in time and really just see, every single time we get a money flow crossover, even just on a 30-minute time frame, we get some kind of significant move to the upside. Every single time. It might not be that significant of a move, but you're pretty much guaranteed to get something when we see this money flow cross over. And so the fact that we just crossed over on the 4-hour time frame is very significant. If we just go back and look at every time we get a money flow crossover on the 4-hour, what happens? We get a move to the upside right here. We get a move to the upside right here. We get a massive move to the upside. Back here, we get a massive move to the upside. So again, we literally just saw money cross over here. And, to me, it looks like we're somewhere like we were back here, where money flow just crossed over and we're printing this red trigger wave right here, and we need to cool off a little bit. Shout out to C137 in the chat. C137, guys, check that guy out on YouTube. Actually, let me come into the chat real quick. Let me just let me pop this link. Let me come into the Discord here and see if this even went out. Did it? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it did go out. But you know what's really strange? This is the wrong thumbnail right here. That's the wrong thumbnail. I was live with C137. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. It's giving me the wrong thumbnail. This was from when I was live with C137. Yeah. Yeah, so objectively, guys, it looks like we do have some upward movement to go. It really does. Right now I have my levels marked out on the chart, and the way I get these levels is very simple. And I kind of want to walk us through it just so that we know, what we're looking for. But before I do, I want to zoom in a little bit here and just kind of show you guys that we are consolidating. We're consolidating right on this key level of support right here, which is about 57.5. 57.5 is a key level. We can see it's a key level because it was respected as a resistance back in the middle of April. It was acting as support back at the beginning of April. It was acting as support again at the end of March. It was acting as resistance in March. It flipped from resistance to support here. It was our resistance all the way back here in the beginning of March. And then, of course, it was our resistance, that we had to break through for an all-time high in February. And the fact that we're able to consolidate here for a while, to me, it looks kind of bullish. It looks like we could be forming something like a bull flag right here. Where we've got our flagpole and then we're trading in this descending channel right here. And it's very possible that we could see a break to the upside. Now, something I want to keep in mind is that, when we're looking at this, we need to keep in mind that, number one, it is still a weekend. And we know that volume tends to be low on the weekends. And we know that usually on the weekends, we get some kind of dump, right? We usually do get some kind of dump. That is something to keep in mind here. I would really want to watch and see, if we lose this support and we lose, this formation here, then I wouldn't really be looking anymore so much for a move to the upside. But I was under the impression that when we had this correction, we were going to come down and kind of print something like this, where we come down, we come up maybe to 58K, maybe even to 61K, before we get another move to the upside. Now, if this actually is a bull flag, if we, do this breakout, it will take us, depending on where you draw this flagpole from, you could, let's take it from right here, because I would say that this was the beginning of the move, this giant candlestick here. This would take us right about to 61.2, this breakout of this bull flag right here. And believe it or not, guys, this 61K area was actually my target from the time we started dumping, and when we started to get the bounce this is kind of my overall view of what is actually going to happen. I believe we're going to have a consolidation period where, this was not actually the lowest that we're going to go. I think we'll probably come up here, then have a big drop where people are going to freak out, and then we'll have a massive move to the upside. I think that the month of May is going to be extremely explosive for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. But things are looking really bullish, and right now in the short term, because of the fact that we just had this money flow crossover. So what I'm keeping my eyes on right now is this support that we're currently holding right now, and the VWAP on the 4-hour, right? If we start to come way down here, right, and we come down below the zero line with the oscillator, and we don't print a higher low on the 4-hour oscillator, then I think we're coming down. But if we do print a higher low on this oscillator where we come down right here, and the money flow continues to come up, and we print a nice tight green trigger wave right here on the 4-hour, then we can actually draw a nice line through those green momentum waves crossing over, which will give us a very clear direction. Because again, remember, when we are printing things, we want to see the direction where we're printing things exclusively above the zero line. That's how we know we're going to continue on a move upward. If we print things exclusively above the zero line on Market Cipher B, that's how we know that we're going to continue upward. Like, just look at what happens every time we get this overall direction. We're looking at the direction of the money flow, and we're looking at the direction of the momentum waves in general. We're not just looking for dots, we're looking for overall direction here. And the fact that the money flow, it has officially curved into the green, the fact that we potentially now are cooling down, right? We're cooling down. It would be really nice if we cool down and we get a nice bounce off of the 21 EMA on the 4-hour, and then continue more to the upside. Is this the 21 EMA? No, that blue line right there is actually the 13 EMA. The purple line that I have here is the 21 EMA, and a lot of times when we are in the uptrend, getting the bounce off the EMA results in a nice move to the upside, right? We can look just historically and see we get the bounce off the 21 EMA, we come up, we get the bounce off the 21 EMA, we come up. The only time we don't get a bounce off the 21 EMA, and this is actually pretty important, if we're in an uptrend, I would say that 90% of the time, 9 out of 10 times, and I'm just generalizing here, but I would say that 9 out of 10 times, shout out to Creepy Joe in the chat, 9 out of 10 times when we do get the bounce off the 21 EMA, if we're trading above the 21 EMA, we will get a bounce. The only time we don't get a bounce off the 21 EMA is if we are printing a red trigger wave on the 4-hour at the same time that we are coming down below that EMA. That's the only time that we don't get a bounce. You might get a scalp trade off of that. You definitely might get a scalp trade off of that. But like right here, right, we didn't get a bounce because we were printing the red dot on the 4-hour while we were coming through that EMA. That's how we know we're coming down. But if we're trading above the EMAs and we come down, we get a bounce, usually that's going to lead to a move to the upside. And so that's really what I'm looking at here. And if we do get another move to the upside, and if we do print a higher low right here, then for me my target is right here, this orange line right here, about 61,154. That's kind of my target, and I'm thinking we'll probably break down from here and reject off of here, come back down to test some lower levels. That's just a hunch that I have, guys. That's just a hunch that I have. But right now, to me, this is actually looking super bullish. If we go down to the 1-hour time frame, we can see again we're just getting this consolidation right here, this clear consolidation. There is still the money flow. It seems like it's still getting thicker, even though we're getting this period of consolidation. So the fact that the oscillator is flipping so close to the zero line means that obviously something has to happen. We're either going to have break up, or we're going to have to break down. And the way things are situated right now, I personally think that it's more likely that we are going to break up than we are going to break down. Um, that's just me. Shout out to Silent Word 84. Shout out to David Gorman. Shout out to Jared Brown, who asks, why the 21 EMA versus the 20? Guys, I'm a really big fan of the 21 EMA simply because it's a Fibonacci number. And I find that Fibonacci EMAs tend to give us really, really good dynamic levels of support and resistance. The 13, the 21. Another one that I really like is the 55 EMA. So if I put on EMA and then I set that thing to 55, this is the yellow one. The 13, the 21, the 55, I think are probably really they're really the only EMAs that I use. You can use them for yourself, even just for simple trading entries. Like, for example, like if all the EMAs cross on top of each other, where you have the 13, the 21, the 55, that usually makes for a really good entry. You don't even have to use the 55. Actually, you could just use the 13 and the 21 on the 1 hour time frame. Of course, you'll have to use Confluence with Market Cipher, but just check it out, right? The EMAs crossover. You can enter right here on this candle when they cross over, and you just stay in for as long as the EMAs are on top of each other. As soon as they cross under, you exit the trade. You get a nice 5% move right there. When the EMAs cross under each other, you can short. And let's see, where does that actually happen? Right here. And you could have gotten a nice, well, I guess a nice 1% move there. If you're strictly trading on the EMA crossovers, if you take profit before they cross back over, you could have gotten a nice 3.5%. And I find that the Fibonacci numbers, there's just something about them that offer really good support and resistance levels. And, whenever I use other EMAs, I find that they don't work as well, man. I really don't. I find that they don't work as well. Shout out to Creepy Joe. Shout out to Creepy Joe. Shout out to Ramon, who says the 13 EMA on the 4 hour is the same as the 50 EMA on the 1 hour. It's easy to remember, so no need to swap that often. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. Shout out to Adam. Adam, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, guys. So, like I said, if we do break up and we break out of this pattern right here, this consolidation, my target for that would be like around 61K. And then if we do break down, I just take it level to level where, obviously if we break down, my first target would be 55K around there. And then after that, it would be, the 53.8 level, which was such a strong level of resistance that we were consolidating on for quite some time back this week. And then after that, if we lose 53.8, then we're looking down to around the 50K and lower level. That's just how it's going to be. But like I was saying, right now things are looking quite bullish. And if we come to the daily time frame and we just kind of zoom out here, we can mark out some of these key levels. And the way we're getting these key levels, guys, like for example, the support that we're consolidating on right now at 57.5, right around, the way I got that level is simply just by going back in time, looking for areas to the left of the chart where price has found a sticking point, where we have a lot of candle bodies opening and closing, and just simply marking a line there. And when you mark a line, in the past, you'll see that that line is respected in the future. And what it does is it's marking out areas of high liquidity in the market, right, where there's a lot of buying and selling happening, right here. And then again, this is respected again as support. First is resistance, then it flips to support, support, resistance, support, 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 resistance, and now it's acting as support again. And so these are very significant levels, and we can use them to say, okay, when price gets to one of these levels, I'm expecting some kind of a reaction. Right now we saw price came up above this level, and now it's going to retest the level. We're either going to get a bounce to come up higher, or we're going to lose this level and come back down to a level below it. Another way to get these levels is by using the indicator the visible range indicator. Shout out to C137. We were talking about this on the stream yesterday, I think it was. The VPVR. The way you're going to get this is you're going to go to TradingView, go to indicators, and just type in visible range. Type in visible range, and then you're going to come in here and set this thing to 200. And what this does is this is going to mark out areas where a lot of volume was traded in the market. And you can see that this red line right here is showing you where the most volume was traded, the most liquidity in the market right here. It's basically showing you at what price the most buying and selling was happening. And you can see it lines up very, very closely with just this daily level of support and resistance. And what this does is this gives us an area of confluence where this is a very strong area of volume of buying and selling in the market. And of course, these levels will change as you get more and less price action into the chart, right? Like if I go all the way back in time and show this much price action on the chart, well, this down here, this area right here, had the most volume back down at the $10,000 level. But if you're dealing with local ranges, local areas, like I am right here, where I'm dealing only with, you know, the beginning of this big run up from December until now, this place that we're at right now at this second is really one of the most significant areas as far as volume goes. And then obviously you can use this indicator to find other levels of significance and mark out levels of support and resistance that you might not be able to find just by looking at the price action. But you will find a lot of times, you know, if you come to the candles and just look for areas where there was a lot of, you know, buying and selling, a lot of candle bodies opening and closing, like for example right around this area here, where we can see on the daily time frame, you know, it was resistance, it was resistance, it was resistance, then it was support, it was support, it was support, 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 resistance, resistance. You know, we can see that this same area is an area where there was a lot of high volume, and we can mark out our levels using this as well. So what I like to do is I like to mark my daily levels, turn off the volume, and just look for areas where historically price has found a sticking point. So, you know, I would mark one down here at like 40K. I would mark one right around here, around 45, and then, you know, right around 48, 51.6, right around here. All these daily closes are. We've got one right here around 54K, which we know is a very significant level this past week. And then of course, you know, we have our all-time highs like the 61K, and then this up here too around 63.6. And this is going to give us our market structure, where basically when price comes to one of these areas, we're going to be looking for a trade, right? When price came down to this area and started to find a support here, this is where we're looking for you know, a bounce to the upside. And the way we're going to confirm that we are going to get a bounce is by looking at Market Cipher. What is Market Cipher telling us? Well, you know, in hindsight, we can come to the 4-hour time frame and see price came down to this level. We printed a nice bottom on Market Cipher B right here, and then we came down, we got a retest, and as we're getting the retest, we're seeing very clearly the direction of not only are we printing higher lows, the wave crossovers, but we're seeing that money is indeed coming back into the market, right? The money flow is going from red into the green. And, you know, we do get a really nice bounce off of this in hindsight. So that's kind of how we're going to do the market structure as far as that goes, and as far as setting our targets as well. That's why I'm saying, you know, if we are able to break out of this, you know, if you want to call this a bull flag right here, and we break to the upside, well, there's just so much confidence saying, okay, our next daily level is right around 61K, and also this, you know, breakout right here would take us, you know, right around that same exact level, right around that $61,000 level, between 61 and 61.5. So, you know, this is how we're going to set our targets. This is how we're going to look to take our trades when we see price is doing something at one of these levels. You know, it's very clear we're either going to want to long it up to this next target up here, like that. Put the stop loss, you know, below the bull flag, or if we lose that and Market Cipher is showing us that we have more downward momentum, then we would want to short it. Put the stop loss above the bull flag and come back down to this level right here, you know, the 54K level. And then if we lose that, you know, the 51.7 level, if we lose that, you know, down to the, honestly, yeah, the 48K level. And potentially, guys, we could even really see like a $43,000 Bitcoin before we really come up to the to those higher prices, which I do believe we are going to see. I really do believe we are going to see the higher prices, right? I'm not like a super bear, but honestly, I was expecting lower right here, and it just makes a lot of sense to me that the whales will move the price in such a way where, remember how bearish everyone was down here, because including myself, I thought we were going to come down to that $43,000 level, which happens to be the 618 of this entire move upward. But instead, what happened was we got a nice bounce here. We come up to the upside. Now everyone's super, super bullish. And then when people are really, really bullish and they're expecting a new all-time high, we get a rejection. We come back down and test, you know, some of these lower levels here before we get another move to the upside. And really, that's exactly what tends to happen a lot in these corrections, right? We come this massive move up, all-time high. We come down, we get the bounce. The bounce is a lower high. Then we come down and, you know, we consolidate, and everybody thinks we're going back down to like 20K, and then we get a massive pump to the upside. So I really think that we could potentially see something like that, where we get a rejection off of either where we're at right now. I don't think so, just because the way things look so bullish. We get a rejection off maybe the 61.1, 61.3 level. Not quite, you know, we put in that lower high, we come down, and when people are losing all hope, you know, that's where these giant buy orders can get filled down at these levels, and we come up to a move to the upside. And actually, if I put back on, I just want to check this out real quick. If we put back on the volume profile indicator, you know, it's just interesting to see, you know, these lower levels, like down here, they definitely have a lot of volume. And, you know, it's kind of crazy. You know, we could see like, we could technically see like a $35,000 Bitcoin, because really, when it comes to volume, you know, this whole area doesn't have much volume in it between, like, you know, the 46 and the 38K level. And really, if we were to lose this support, this area of support right here, it wouldn't be too crazy to come back down to the $35,000 level. And even if we did that, just talking about scenarios, right? Even if we came down to the 35K level thereabouts, you know, or even the $37,000 level, there's a lot of volume there. That's only a 42% correction, which typically, guys, you know, in bull markets, we will get 40%, 42% corrections. It's not too crazy, and this would really, not only would it give us great opportunity to enter a nice long position, but it would really get rid of all these like bearish divergences that have been forming on the higher time frames, right? It would allow everything to cool off, and then we could continue upward. I would say the only way that this bull market could possibly be over is if we lose like the $35,000 level. To me, that's how I see it in my mind. Because look, we have all this volume right here. This is a very thick level of support and resistance. And if we lose that, guys, the next real level of support, I mean, obviously we have one right here, right? Because of the resistance that we got right around here at the but really the next real level of support and resistance is right around 10K, and I definitely don't think that that's going to happen. But anything could happen, guys. Anything could happen. So enough of looking so macro. If we just come back to the here and now, you know, where we're at right now, you know, I always look to trade Bitcoin level to level. That's how I always trade. I when we come to a resistance, I look to short. When we come to a support, I look to long. There were a lot of good trades that were made, you know, right in this area where we come up to this resistance, we short down to the support, we come to the support, we long up to the resistance. Of course, you're not always going to hit all your take profits. That's why you got to take profit up along the way. But, you know, right now, in the short term, you know, if we're able to break above this, you know, 61.1, if we break below, looking down to this support right here, 55.3-ish. Shout out to Creepy Joe, who is hoping for another big drop. Jack Carter is getting massive profits on alts from my 24 and 4 hour strategy. We need an invite to the Discord. Is that what's going on, Creepy Joe? Yeah, we can talk about the 4 hour 24 strategy here. Memory Man says we'll probably double bottom around 48K. Yeah, it's very possible, man. I mean, I feel like that's pretty. I would like to see that, but you know what? If we do that, I feel like it would be so obvious. But maybe not. Maybe not. Possibly not. You know, something else I do want to just point out real quick before we move to Ethereum is the fact that we were getting this, you know, the wedge, right? The famous wedge right here that we broke out of. And then also we had the trend line that we had been trading since December 10th, around there. This kind of trend line right here that we broke below and then came back. And, you know, it's just so interesting to see that if we do actually come up to the 61.1 level, that would give us, we retest this falling wedge and then get a rejection down. I think there's just a lot of confluence in this general area for a rejection here. So if we do get up to that area, you know, I'm definitely going to be looking to put my shorts on, my cargo shorts. I'm going to put my cargo shorts on. And I'm just going to fill up my cargo pockets with Bitcoins. Yeah, there is a Discord link in the description of this video. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Jay Logalin, who says the 4 hour 24-minute strategy is the bomb. Yeah, I mean, I really like the 4 hour 24-minute strategy, guys. So if anyone doesn't know what that is, let me just quickly go over it. The 4 hour 24 strategy is you're going to use two time frames. You're going to use the 4 hour time frame and you're going to use the 24-minute time frame. And basically, when we print a green trigger wave on the 4 hour time frame, you're going to come over to the 24-minute time frame and you are going to look for either a green trigger wave or a money flow crossover. So right here we're printing the green dot on the 4 hour time frame. And then right here on the 24-minute time frame, as soon as we get the money flow crossover and that first candle confirms, which is right here, this is where we enter the long position. And you know, look at that move, that move we could have gotten. Shout out to Nomad2121 who says, "Am I still giving a discount on my course?" Yes, guys, I do have a discount on the course. If you're interested in the trading course to become a confident, profitable trader. This is the outline of the course down here where we basically go over everything you need to know to create your own strategy, backtest your own strategy. We even give you strategies that are already proven to be profitable. JasonCasperTrading.com, you can currently get $40 off. I'm pretty sure it's $40 off if you use this code that I'm going to put in the chat right now. The code is YES65. It's only good until tomorrow, guys. YES65 for Nomad2121. Yeah, use the code YES65, JasonCasperTrading.com. Yeah, a lot of people have been taking the course, and a lot of people are really liking the course a lot. I you know, if I had to, before I started trading, this is all the stuff I wish I knew before I started trading. It's not the most in-depth in the world, but it definitely will give you the basics that you need to start having success, and it will give you a really good foundation to build upon. A really good foundation to build upon. For sure. For sure. So let's take a look at Ethereum. Yes, Mike Sabs brings up a good point. I still am using Wolfpack ID. So I use a secondary indicator, Wolfpack ID, to also enter trades when I'm using the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy. So basically, to look at the trade setup that we just took here, what I want to see in an ideal world, this is the most ideal trade. If you look for a setup with all 4 of these confirmations met, you will be successful, I would say, in most every single trade. You're not going to get into a lot of trades, but the trades you enter are going to be really good. So what we want to see is, we want to see the green trigger wave printing on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, a trigger wave, not an anchor wave, right? We don't want to have this big bottom here. I'm not saying you can't enter a good trade with these big bottoms. I'm saying if we want to follow the strategy to a T, we need to find these trigger waves here. So right here, we want to find a green dot that's a trigger wave. And we want to see that Wolfpack ID on the 4-hour has come down, turned purple, and then has formed a V shape and has turned blue, right? Although this will be red and green for most normal people, but if you're cool like me, you will change your candles and all your trading view colors to purple and blue. Then on the 24-minute, we want to see that the Wolfpack ID has come up, is no longer purple, and also we want to see that it's pointing in the upward direction. We want to see it pointing in the upward direction on both the time frames. If all 4 of these things are met, where we have the green trigger wave on the 4-hour, the pointing up blue Wolfpack on the 4-hour, the money flow cross or trigger wave on the 24-minute, and then the pointing up blue Wolfpack on the 24-minute, you will probably at least have an opportunity to take profit on all of these trades. Nomad says, thanks bro, just so you know, I put in that code and nothing popped up for a discount. Really? Huh. Well guys, give me 1 second here. Let me just turn this screen blank for a second so I can go into the dashboard of this computer and see what is going on here with that coupon. And I will get it for you. Yes, 65 should work. Yes, 65. Yes, 65. Yes, 65. Yes, 65. One of my favorite numbers is 65, guys. All right, let's give it another try there in the chat. Let's give it another try. Use this code yes65, guys, if you're interested in getting $40 off the course. Anthony Murray just tried it and it works. Cool. Shout out to Jack Carter, who says pay in full, worth it. Yeah, Ramon is right. The red makes you nervous for sure. The red makes you nervous for sure. And yeah, so let's take a look at Ethereum, guys, because Ethereum is doing something really awesome. As many of you know who follow my channel here, Ethereum, I'm really looking at these targets here. These are Fibonacci targets that I have set for Ethereum, and the way I obtain these targets is this. Let's get a new chart here. Go to the daily time frame. You know, I was taking Ethereum from the swing low right down here that we had, taking it up to this swing high, taking it down to this swing low right here. And these have been my targets, you know, for Ethereum. And it's just so interesting, isn't it, that right now we are getting a rejection perfectly off this 0.786 fib extension right up here. We came up, we tapped it. We just tapped it literally to the exact dollar, and then came back down. These have been my Ethereum targets for quite some time. And so, obviously the next target is the one-to-one extension of this uptrend right here, which would put us around a little bit over $3,200 Ethereum. So what usually ends up happening, and what has been happening at least at these fib levels, as you can see, we came up here, we surpassed the 382, and we come back down. We come up again, we tap the 0.5, we come back down. Then we came up to the 618, and we tried to come back down, right? In fact, I shorted this. I shorted this rejection here, and because we were forming some massive bearish divergences, and I hit one take profit, and then I got stopped out, and then I shorted that again. I hit the same take profit, got stopped out. So there were small wins, but right now it looks like this is the daily time frame. Just like the Bitcoin, we're consolidating. We're consolidating a little bit. The money flow is getting super thick for Ethereum on like the 12-hour time frame. We just look at the money flow coming in here. It's getting really thick. Even on the 12-hour time frame, this momentum is like a train that's out of control. Even though momentum is so high, we're still printing these green trigger waves super high on the 12-hour time frame. When we come down to the 4-hour time frame, it looks like we really need to cool off. And to me, guys, this looks like we need to come down quite significantly for Ethereum. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I think we need to come down for Ethereum to retest potentially the 2741 level, maybe even a little bit lower. But first of all, this pattern right here, where we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a massive pump. This is something that me and C137 were talking about yesterday, where usually we get this kind of pattern on Market Cipher B on the 4-hour or really any time frame, where we get this bearish divergence that forms, where we're coming up like this, price is making higher highs, and momentum is making lower highs, which is technically a bearish divergence. And then what happens is we will do 4 waves and then get a massive pump. If we go back to the Bitcoin, we can see this same exact thing happening back right here at the beginning of March, where we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a massive pump, and then we had like a big kind of correction, like we were printing this divergence, very similar to Ethereum right now, where we were trading in this ascending channel, right? This ascending channel. We were printing the bearish divergence, and then we get the massive pump. Come back to Ethereum, what do we see? We see that we are trading. We were trading in this ascending channel, right? Hang on, sorry about that. We're trading in this trading in this ascending channel right here, while we're also printing the bearish divergence, and then we get the massive pump. And we're coming into a level of resistance right here, which is a Fibonacci level, and 2 out of 3 times where we've come to one of these Fibonacci levels, we've had to correct. It's very possible that we could see some downward movement. Let me kind of show you where I'm thinking. We were kind of trading in this along this trend line for quite some time right here, right? We can see that this trend line was respected. I guess you could say that, back to the beginning of April, we kept bouncing off of this trend line right here. Now we've had this pump thing, and we're rejecting off of a Fibonacci target. So if I had to guess and say what's most probable, I would think it's that we need to cool off a little bit, right? We can't just keep printing these divergences, have this massive pump, and not cool off a little bit. So some of the areas I will be looking to enter because right now I'm still in these longs, right? This is my Ethereum long up 80%, my Bitcoin long up 55%, 56% right now. I've been long on these trades, guys, since the middle of the week, and I've been taking profits up along the way. Don't get me wrong. I've been taking profits up along the way. So, you know, it's not like I'm a bear, right? If these things keep pumping, I'm good, right? I'm chilling. But, you know, we're coming up to a resistance right here. And it just makes a lot of sense that we would come down and potentially test, first of all, this level right here. This is the first level I would be looking for price to come down to. And the reason for that is because there's just so much confluence here. First of all, it's the 0.618 extension level. It's this trend line that we were respecting until we broke out. And so it would actually give us a really nice retest of the trend line. It would also give us a retest of the 618 level. And also, it would give us a test of the 21 EMA on the 4 hour. This purple line I have here is the 21 exponential moving average here. Let me just mark out these lines here and then take off the fib extension so we know these are our targets. These are our targets. Or if you're French, these are our targets. And then we'll put these levels here. You're right here. Let's see. Yeah, we'll mark these levels out here. And yeah, so these are our fib levels. And guys, if we got this thing forming on the Market Cipher, and if anybody doesn't have Market Cipher yet and you want to get it, there's a 5% discount in the description of the video right here. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, Billy 5 D3 PWXX4F. Very easy to remember. Get a sweet 5% discount. Also, while I'm shilling Market Cipher, might as well shill my other stuff. Bybit, you can get up to $1,600 plus 15% interest just by holding an account if you use this affiliate link in the Rewards Hub. MARGEX, you can get $50 literally just for signing up, and you can get $50 for depositing only 0.004 BTC. I've been trading on MARGEX a lot. I've been messing with some high leverage on MARGEX, which I do not recommend, but it's an interesting trading platform, a little different than Bybit. Got the trading course here, my VIP Discord where I do private VIP TA as well as I do like trading. My trades, my altcoin trades, I've been trading a lot of altcoins lately. Just recently, Kusama. We just hit our first take profit, which is up like 4.5%, which is pretty nice. Zilliqa did a nice trade that, hit our first take profit there. Whole bunch of trades that I've been posting in here. Ethereum trades, Bitcoin trades, altcoin trades, potential pumps. BNB, trading that in here. Got my take profit, stop loss, all that stuff. If you're interested, you can become a Patreon. All right, enough of this. Let's get back to the Ethereum. Yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, so I think a really nice level to come down would be right here, because it would give us the retest of this trend line, retest of this 618 fib extension, and a retest of the 21 EMA. And you know, I'm a big fan of trading the bounce off the 21 EMA in an uptrend. In an uptrend, the trend is your friend, and if you're bouncing off that 21 EMA, you're probably going to find a good entry. We need to cool off a little bit, right? It's clear that we're starting to cool off on the 3 hour, right? We're printing this red dot here. Money flow is super thick, so I don't know how much we're actually going to correct. But I'm just saying, what would be a really nice entry if you've already missed out on the Ethereum pumps and you're not up 81% on your trade? You know, where would you be looking to get in? For me, you know, it would be right down here in this area. I think what I can foresee happening is we're probably going to consolidate sideways for a little bit, and then we're going to come down. Okay, consolidate sideways for a little bit and then come down. That usually tends to happen when we print after a huge pump, right? When we start to print the red dot. You know, a lot of times we'll consolidate for a little before we come down. You know, like even right here, you know, we're starting to get this downward momentum. We did consolidate up here at this trend line before we came down to test the last fib level. Another thing, I want to pull up the the visible range here again and set this thing to 200, because this really, to me, gives me the most view here, the best view. And you know, we can see that we do have a lot of volume as well, obviously, because of all the price action that's here trading around this level. So to me, this is a very, very strong support, that I think just there's so much confluence here. There's so much confluence that we will come down at least to test this level. And of course, if we do come down and test this level, guys, and you're looking for an entry, what you want to do is you will want to look at Market Cipher to find out if it's actually going to be a good entry. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go down to a lower time frame, maybe the 3 minute, right? Potentially the 3 minute. And we're going to look for, when we come down to that support, we're going to look for something like this. We're going to look for something like this. We are going to, when we come down and test that level, what are we going to look for on Market Cipher? Well, we're going to look for a divergence, a direction, and a money flow crossover. Divergence, direction, and a money flow crossover. What I mean by that is this. We are going to want to see a divergence where price is coming lower, like it is right here, right? But yet, the momentum waves are getting higher, right? We want to see, we formed this bottom right here. We formed this bottom right here, and we can see that we're printing two bottoms. One was right here, and one was right here. The price is coming down, yet the momentum waves are coming up. And also we want to see that the money flow is starting to cross from the red into the green. And when we see that that's happening, that's how we can know that, yeah, okay, we're actually going to bounce off of that level and not fall through. If we come to a support, and let's just go back and look at a time when we fell through a support. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. And where did Ethereum fall through a support? Okay, right here, we fell through a support. We fell through it. We didn't bounce off of it. We fell through it. Let's examine what happened there so that we can know when price gets back to that level. How do we know? Are we going to get a bounce off the support, or are we going to fall through the support? There's no way to know for sure, but there is a way to kind of, you know what I'm saying, guys? All right, here we are. And let's zoom in here. Zoom. Yeah, so look at this, guys. As we're coming to the support, what do we see? We see that the money flow is thick in the red, and it's actually, as we're coming down lower, money flow is getting thicker into the red. And also we can see that we're printing red trigger waves like lower and lower and lower. Okay? And everything is moving below the zero line, right? Instead, we want to see things starting to move above the zero line. We want to see that direction upwards. Right here, there's nothing even giving us a hint that we're going to even try and come above the zero line, because look at all these red waves we're printing here. Money flow is getting thicker as we come down. And it can be kind of hard to spot in some of these lower time frames. So what I like to do is I like to go back and forth between the 1 minute and the 6 minute and the 3 minute, and you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it. Like, look at this right here on the 6 minute, right? The 6 minute, you don't really see the divergence on the 6 minute, but you do clearly see the direction on the 6 minute, where we're clearly getting the money flow is crossing right here, is literally crossing into the blue. You can see it down here, how it's crossing into the blue, and even right here you can see anchor, trigger, money flow cross. I really like to look at the 1 minute, the 6 minute, and the 3 minute, because that will give you a very clear picture of what's happening. Like the 1 minute is super zoomed in. You can see the money flow crosses right when they happen, and then you can zoom out to the 6 minute, even the 12 minute, and kind of see what's happening. Wesley Von Den Brock wants to know if he can buy my like button on Bybit. Yeah, man, you could even trade it with 100x leverage. Yeah, for sure. But Brian Roberts, yeah, talking about how I always whip my fib out in public. Yeah, I do. I whip it out in public. People get scared. Yeah, people do get scared. when I just pull the fib out in public. They think I might fire that thing off. But I'm what I call a benign fibber. I'm a benign fibber. I might pull out my fib in public, but it's benign. All right, it's benign. Man, but at the same time, guys, Ethereum is just revved up. If we go to the daily time frame, Ethereum is super revved. Go to the 12-hour time frame, super revved. I mean, we could very well still see some more upward movement here. We very well could. We very well could. Josh, have I ever whipped my fib out in church? No, guys, I have never taken my fib out in church, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I go to religious services, I do not trade on that day. I do not trade. I do not trade on the Sabbath day. On Saturdays, the Lord's day of rest, right? Where He rested on that day, I rest on that day to stay focused on the fact that He created me, He created everything, and if I put Him first, everything else will just fall into order, just like promises in His Word. And so even though I might be in open trades on Saturday, like these here, I'm not actually using my fib. I keep the fib where it belongs. Alfredo Corona wants to know, where is it a good place to increase his long? Ali B says, what if I'm in a trade? Do I close it? No. I'll have my take profit levels set. I'll have them set in Bybit. Like the trades I'm in right now, like I've taken a lot of profit out along the way up. I'm shocked that we're this high, like I wasn't expecting this kind of thing. But here we are. Here we are. And yeah, I'm just letting them ride. See what can happen. It is interesting though, guys. Even like if you were scalping this today, right? This would have been a really good short, right? Just a nice short scalp right here. A nice 1%. If that was like 5x leverage, that's a nice 5% scalp right there. So, when we come to these levels, you can still trade. Like a lot of times, like during the week, if I'm swing long, I'll just short every time we come to resistance. Just short it every time. Why not? Worst case scenario, worst case scenario, you'll end up with a very small loss. Like if you have a tight stop and you see that we're getting the rejection and you just put the stop right above here, worst case, you have a small loss. If you set your profit, your first take profit down here, you might have take profits along the way, and you might hit like one take profit, and just get a little tiny win here and there, maybe a break even here and there. Can't hurt, cannot hurt. Ramon, tell your son David, shalom. Peter R, I do not use the MACD indicator to increase position. Alfredo Corona. Alfredo Corona, man, is that your real name? Because makes me kind of hungry, bro. Makes me want to go to Olive Garden and get some chicken Alfredo, and then go to the Mexican place next door and get some chips and salsa with a Corona. And also, Corona reminds me of something else that's been going around lately. But before that, it only reminded me of the beverage. Yeah, so I was just saying, Alfredo, my good friend, Alfredo, chicken Alfredo is a good dish. This would be a great place in my mind to add to the Ethereum position, because there's just so much confluence here. There's a lot of volume here. This is a Fibonacci, the 618 extension level. Also, this is a trend line, right? This is the channel that we were kind of trading in for Ethereum before we broke out on. When was the official breakout and retest? Was on April 28th, the 28th of April. And yeah. Matej, would it be good to go short soon? I mean, here's the thing, Matej. Like, I can't tell you what to do, but I would say for me, if I see that we're coming to a resistance, like we're about to, and if I see that, I mean, this is looking bullish, man. I'm not gonna lie, on the 30-minute time frame, this is looking kind of bullish, right? We have this this bearish divergence forming, but yet it looks like one of those patterns that happens where we get the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a massive pump, right? But anyway, if we're coming up to a resistance and I see that we're about to get a rejection, like what I would do, my good friend, is I would wait and see, like, when we rejected off of it the first time, what was happening on the 3-minute time frame. Let's go back and see. Well, on the 3-minute time frame, we could see that money flow was clearly curving down. We could see that we were clearly getting the bearish divergence, big time bearish divergence. We actually had the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the pump. But before we got that, we were getting the bearish divergences forming, right? We're getting the bearish divergences coming in like this. We could clearly see the money flow curving down, right? And so, to me, this is objectively a good entry right here. Objectively a good entry, because you can short here at the rejection, maybe the second candle. You put your stop loss in a very safe place where, you say worst case scenario, I will get stopped out with a very small loss. But best case scenario, you probably would set a final take profit down here. And technically, you could still be in this trade right now. Like, if you took this trade, look, we got 1, 2 rejections. Maybe wait to see what happens to the third rejection, right? But, whenever we come to a resistance and you're seeing things tick down on the lower time frames, to me, that's a good time to enter a short, just because... it's objectively a good entry. In my mind, you're either going to have a small win, a big win, or like a very small loss, right? Yeah. People are asking about my ethnicity. I'm a mutt, guys. I'm a lot of things. And I live on the earth. I live on the earth. Somewhere on the earth. People are asking about Cardano. Shout out to Aldid88, who paid me 10, almost 11 euros to talk about ADA. I'm bullish on ADA. I'm bullish on it, right? I'll check it out because of the super chat here. But I'm bullish on ADA. I'm bullish on it. Like, we go to the daily and we can see that we've got some... Well, it's not looking the best right now. But if we go to the 2-day, long term, I'm bullish on Cardano. If we go to the 2-day, we can see we just printed this tight trigger wave right here, and yeah, we've had some consolidation for the past 2 days, but I do think that I don't think we're gonna clip down like this. I really don't. I think that we'll probably continue this up. I really do think that. I'm a big ADA hodler, guys. I'm a big holder of Cardano. I don't actually trade it. Maybe I should, but I'm a big holder of Cardano, and I'm long-term bullish on it. When we look at the weekly, this looks really good on the weekly. The VWAP is pointed up like this. It looks like pretty soon we're going to come and print a green trigger wave right in here, and it looks like we're going to get this nice move to the upside. Someone wants me to check out the 4-hour. Yeah, the 4-hour, is looking pretty good. We got the money flow crossover, and I look. Obviously, we're coming up to a place of consolidation here, and you could even say that we're forming this this symmetrical triangle here on the 4-hour, which we could really. Right now, I guess we're no longer printing the green dot. We were printing the green dot. Obviously, we're coming up to the apex of the triangle where something's got to give. We're either going to go kaplam or kaploom. Kaplam or kaploom. Kaplam or kaploom. Right? Because this is the Earth and this is the Moon up here orbiting around the Earth. But sometimes the Moon will come down to this part of the Earth. And so either way, we're going to the Moon, guys. Either way, we're going to the Moon on Cardano. Alfredo... Oh, you're trading Bitcoin, my brother. Yeah, Buffalo, I am holding ADA. I am. Are you talking about Cardano, Ernesto Rodriguez, a hidden divergence on the 4-hour? Are you talking about? What are you talking about? Shout out to Nathan Clements, who says, "Hey Jason, halfway through the course, just paid for itself with the first trade. Keep up the good work." Awesome, bro. I'm so glad to hear that. Tony wants to know, what do I think about tonight's Bitcoin breakout bull pennant? Yeah, I think it's totally possible. I mean, we were just taking a look at this here. Like I said, like if we do break out of this consolidation to the upside, then my target is like 61.1 to 61, somewhere in this area, right? Because I would be looking for a retest of this trend line here, this rising wedge, and then coming down to the downside, right? I think we would be coming down to the downside. Excuse me, guys, I'm yawning because I'm tired here, but. But yeah, so I think for sure, if you were going to add to your position, it's hard to say because I would only add to a position if we come down. And honestly, if we come down, I don't know. If you're long from 56, I mean, if you already took profits out, man, what I would do is, if I were in your exact position, I would just hold what I got right now. And only add to it if we come down and test the some of these EMAs. Like what could happen, man? Because we're printing this red dot, we could get some downward movement, a little bit more, come down like this, right? And when you see that we're about to print the green dot, and let's say we come down and we do test maybe like this trend line here around 56. Then maybe add to it again, but for me, I'm long from where am I long from? Let me check. I am long from 54,350 and 18 cents. So for me, I'm just kind of letting this thing ride out, because I'm long from right around here. Right around here, this purple candlestick in here is where I'm long from, and we got so I that's quite a bit there. It's like almost 8%. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't be more of a help to you, my brother. I'm sorry. Shout out to Don from Lorain, Ohio, USA. Shout out to Hugh Blunden, who just bought the course. Okay, people are asking about a good entry short on ETH. I mean, whenever we get to resistance, I'm looking for a short, to be honest with you. The course, Don Cherney, is $300, but if you use the code YES65, I'll put it in the chat. Go to jasoncaspertrading.com and use the code YES65. You'll get $40 off, man. Market Matt says, I think it's a good short ETH time. Yeah, I would agree. Objectively speaking, if we go to Ethereum, just objectively speaking, right, it looks like, we're rejecting off of this resistance here. And objectively speaking, this resistance makes a really good stop loss, right? Really good stop loss. Again, this is not financial advice, guys. You know the deal. If you think this is financial advice, you'll lose everything, all your Ethereum, all your fiat, all your Bitcoin, all your friends will leave you. You're going to burn your mouth on a hot slice of pizza. The cheese is going to stick to your tongue. You're going to get a blister on your tongue. It's going to be there for a week. You're not going to be able to taste your food. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be a fun experience. It's not going to be a fun experience, right? Because this is not financial advice. But yeah, for sure, like, just this is objectively a good entry, right? Because we're at a resistance. There's a clear invalidation place for the trade. It looks like we're about to print the red dot in the 4-hour, and really just go back in time and see the red dots. Even in these uptrends, these red dots give us awesome scalps. So yeah, objectively, speaking, not financial advice, but this is a good trade right here, where you set your stop loss right above that resistance, nice and tight, and then you set your take profits. You know, obviously, I would set my take profit down here and just take them along the way, right? Take one here, take one right around here, take one right around here, and then your final one down here. And also, I would look to take one when we hit this, maybe when we hit that 21 EMA here. Or maybe I would look to take one when we hit the 13 EMA, and then another one when we hit the 21 EMA, and then the final one when we come down to retest the trend line. I mean, you know, in my mind, this is a good trade setup, because it's when I say it's a good setup, I hope you guys know I'm not saying that you should take the trade. I'm saying objectively, when we're looking for trade entries, we want to keep our risk to reward very low. And you know, if our hypothesis is we're rejecting off of the resistance and we're going to ride it down, then we're only risking 0.4%. Even if you put your whole account on the trade, right? You're only risking 0.4% of your account in order to potentially gain almost 7% on your whole account. That's what I mean by objectively good. Alfredo Corona, what's the course about? The course is a trading course for beginners, right? To gain the knowledge and skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader, where basically it focuses on Market Cipher, but also it goes through technical analysis, how to identify trends, support and resistance, all the things I'm talking about here, Fibonacci, patterns. We go through Market Cipher for, honestly, 4 sessions, right? I put some bonus sessions in here for Market Cipher, and then we go through like actual trading strategies that I use that work, risk management, and yeah, so that's what it's about, Alfredo, my man. And yeah, Alfredo, yeah, that's what it's about. Check out some testimonials here, guys. Yeah. Let's see. Wow, this has been a long stream, y'all. It's been a long stream. It's been an hour and 22 minutes. Wow. Alfredo, I do have a Discord, man. Link is in the description of the video, right down here. I'll drop it in the chat, guys. This is my Discord. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to cut the stream. Ernesto, if you subscribe to Patreon, no, you do not have access to the course. Guys, like the video, man. We got almost 600 people in here, only 300 likes. Wow. Yeah, no, the Patreon and the course had to be separate just for various purposes. But yeah, guys. Thomas, I don't have Discord support for the course, but there is support. You can email support. Sylvia Drifter, what are you talking about? Shout out to DJ Fresh's F*CK exclamation point. Thanks for being here, man. Thank you for being here, bro. I do. I do, man. But, you know, obviously we can't know that for sure. Shout out to Sergio. Shout out to Sergio. Shout out to Albertino. Toda Rabah. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Yeah, may the Lord bless all of you. Omar, you saw some headlines there that you don't have in your course. Omar, if you bought the course from the website, that's the course, man. Yeah, for sure. And if you log into the website, everything that I put up there is up there. I'm always adding more stuff there too. The volume indicator I was using, Kevin, was just you got to type in what is it? Fixed? No, it's the VPVR, but it's what is it called here? Visible range. Visible range. Yeah, and just set that thing to 200. Visible range. Yeah. Yep, that's it, guys. All right, so I'm going to cut the stream, guys, but I pray that all of you are blessed, and may the Lord bless you in the name of Yeshua the Messiah, in the name of Jesus the Messiah. And receive this blessing in the Hebrew language. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, b'shem Yeshua HaMashiach Elohei Yisrael. Which means, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace in the name of Jesus the Messiah, the God of Israel. Amen, amen. Peace, peace, all you guys. Shout out to C137. C137, man, I have to have you back on the stream, bro. Maybe we could do it on a weekly basis, man. Would you be down? C137? Publicly asking you, bro. Would you be down? Maybe we could do this on a weekly basis, man. Because I enjoy having you on the stream, bro. Shout out to Ramon. Shout out to Memory Man. And, yeah, peace, everybody.